to start off with is to have the brick or the beanbag or anything that's comfortable underneath your sacrum. So just at the base of your spine where there's that flat bone, and just pop it underneath your sacrum. And you'll have to have a sort of a wiggle around to get yourself comfy. And once you're on the block comfortably and you relax, you'll kind of feel your spine extending down, and it should feel nice. If you don't like it, don't use it, but it should feel quite good. And having your feet under the knees, tucking your shoulders gently in underneath you, arms by your sides, palms facing up. Closing your eyes, tuck your chin gently under, lengthening the back of the neck. Close your eyes and just take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Release those shoulders down. Deep breath in through the nose. Deep inhale through the nose. Fill your lungs, and as you exhale, release your chest, your shoulders, relaxing down. One more deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Releasing down. And then just start to push into your feet, lift your buttocks up, slide the brick or the bag away from underneath your bottom, slowly roll the hips down. And then come to knees and feet mat hip width. So roughly a clenched fist width apart between your knees and your feet. Just tuck your shoulders under a little, lengthen the back of the neck. And then start to push into your feet. Start to push the knees forward and just come up about halfway up your spine. Pause here, clench your butt cheeks, squeeze them in. And as you exhale, tuck your pelvis and start to lower your spine. Keep your butt cheeks lifted till your sacrum hits the spine. Then release your bottom and just rock the pelvis forward a tiny bit. Inhale, draw belly in, flat back, push into feet, rolling up onto your shoulders. Pausing here. And as you exhale, clench the butt cheeks, slowly lower the spine, one vertebra at a time. Once your bottom hits, rock the pelvis forward. Now draw your bandha from underneath you, drawing up in front of you to your belly button. Pull your lower back into the mat. Squeeze your lower back fully into the mat. Nice. Now keep your lower back on the mat. Start to lift one leg. Knee coming above the hip. Foot level with the knee. And then bring the other leg up to join it. Keep pulling, pushing your lower back into the mat. Bring the knees together, the feet together. Turn your hands so palms are facing upwards. Nice. Now slowly start to extend one leg. Point the toe, reaching with that foot as far as you can go. Nice. Bring it back in to meet the other knee. Other leg extends, point the foot, stretch the leg. Inhale, bring the knee back. Reset your lower back if it's lifted. Pull your belly button up and in, push your lower back into the mat. And then you're just going to alternate one leg, slowly bringing it in. And the other leg, slowly extend, point the toe, slowly bring it in. And remember, the lower you bring the leg, the harder your core is working, but also you've got to watch out for your lower back. So keep pulling belly button in and lower back to the mat as you move from side to side. We need to look after our backs. Beautiful. And maybe once more on either side, and make sure you end up on the opposite leg to the one you started on, so you've done an even amount. And then put your hands on your knees, bring the knees into the chest, take a little rock from side to side. You can turn your head, massaging your lower back. Beautiful. And then coming to a still pose, reset your lower back. So pull belly button up and in, push lower back into the mat, reset those knees. Now, what we all tend to do is have the knees either too far in or too far away. So kind of take a look and see if you can check that your knees are over your hips. Have a look at your feet. Are they too high, too low? Try and get them at that 90-degree bend. And then we're going to do toe taps. So draw belly up and in, flatten your lower back on the mat. Keep that lower back engagement, hinge from the hip, tap one big toe to the mat, and then come back up. So you're keeping the bend in the knee, you're just hinging from the hip, but the core is doing the work. You shouldn't feel any pain, any niggles in your lower back. Keep pulling your lower back into the mat. Keep that core firmly fired up as you move from side to side, nice and slow. That's it. Really good. And again, maybe one more on either side, making sure you end up on the opposite leg to the one you started. And then again, bring knees into the chest, squeeze them in, and rock from side to side. And reset those knees. Check the knees are over the hips and your feet are level with your knees. Now have your hands by your side, palms facing in towards each other. Reset your lower back, pull belly button up and in, and start to extend one leg long and the opposite arm long, reaching the opposite arm behind you. And then bring them back, arm to the side, knee comes in. Other side extends, opposite arm to opposite leg, bringing the foot as low as feels comfortable for you without your lower back lifting, and coming back in. And just doing 4 or 5 on either side, using the breath. So inhale, extend, and exhale, coming back in. Inhale, extend, point the toe as you lower the leg, and coming back in. Just keeping count how many times you're doing either side. We're aiming for about 4 or 5, opposite arm, opposite leg. Nice. And always end up on the opposite leg to the one you started on. And then once you've done your 4 or 5, bring the knees back into the chest, give them a squeeze. Pull them up really tightly so maybe your bottom lifts and you're just rocking on your upper back and your lower back, your bottom's lifting. And squeeze them in once more, and then release back to our 90-degree bend and T-shape your arms. Arms are wide, palms facing up. Relax the shoulders. Now pull belly button up and in, flat back to the mat. Keep the knees at that angle, squeeze knees and feet together, and just start to lower your legs to one side. Don't let the opposite shoulder lift. And we're coming to a hover, so we're not coming all the way down. So your waist muscles, your core is going to support the weight of your legs. Inhale, use the waist muscles to come back up. And then slowly lowering to the other side. Keep both shoulders firmly on the mat as you come down to your hover. And inhale, back up. Coming back to the first side, we're going to hover the legs. And if you want a bit more, extend the top leg straight, point the toes. Bringing the knees, feet back to center and slowly lower them to the other side. Hover, maybe extending that top leg, point the toes, and then bending the knee, bringing them back up. This time coming back to our first side, let the legs come all the way down, as far as they will go. Don't let the shoulders lift, and then turn head in the opposite direction. Breathing here. Now draw in your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor muscles. Engage Uddiyana Bandha, belly button pulling up and in, bringing the legs lifting back up to center, and then slowly lower them all the way to the other side, turning head in opposite direction, full body twist. Trying to keep the knees and the feet together if you can. Relax those shoulders. And on your next inhale, engage bandha, bring the knees back up to center. Really, really nice. Bringing the feet down to the mat, feet underneath knees. Either pull your feet in towards your bottom, or if you're like me and that doesn't work, kind of caterpillar wriggle your bottom down so your bottom is really close to your heels and you can actually touch your heels. Arms by your side, palms facing each other. Or if you've got a yoga brick handy, you can use your yoga brick and have your hands either side and just have the brick on your belly to start off with. So draw your bandha in underneath you. Belly button is pushing, pulling lower back to the mat. Push into the feet. Knees are going to come forward as bottom lifts. Straighten your arms overhead with your block. Rolling up onto your shoulders and then bringing your arms overhead as low as they will go. Keep the arms where they are. Reset your bandha and slowly lower your spine, one vertebra at a time. Once your butt cheeks hit, bring the block up and over. You can keep it pointing up to the ceiling. Inhale, flat back, roll up to your shoulders. On same inhale, arms reach overhead. On the exhale, lower the spine. Keep your belly pulling up and in as your bottom hits the mat, arms coming back. Inhale, flat back, roll up, and arms come overhead. And exhale, lower the spine, and arms coming back up and over. One more time. Inhale, flat back, roll up, arms coming long overhead. And we're going to stay here for just a moment. Push into your feet, lift those hips, squeeze your butt cheeks, lifting a little bit higher still. Now pull your belly button up and in, strong core. And really slowly, one vertebra at a time, start releasing your back down. Keep your arms long overhead. Once your sacrum hits the mat, rock your hips forward, bringing arms up and over and release them down, popping the block to one side. Last time, push into the feet, rolling up onto your shoulders to your bridge pose. Now tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Slide your hands together, interlace them underneath you. Roll onto your outer edges of your arms and push your bottom up, chin tucked to chest. Squeeze your arms onto the mat, pushing down with your shoulders. Keep the lift in your hips and lift one leg, point the toes up to the ceiling. Keep lifting your hips, pushing into the opposite foot and release that foot down, reset the hips. Inhale, opposite leg up. Push those hips up, keep them lifted, and release the foot. Release your hands, uncurl your upper arms, rolling down your spine. And then just start to drop your knees slowly from one side to the other. Use your core to pull them up when you're coming up, releasing any lower back tension. Becky's been frozen for quite a while, but okay. And just gently bring your knees back to center. Really nice. Imprint lower back again. Pull your belly up and in. Draw one knee into the chest. Extend the leg long, hands behind the thigh. Start to gently pull the thigh towards you. Flex the foot, push the heel away. Pulling that foot towards you. Nice. And then bend the knee, grab your strap, pop it around the foot. A lot of this class is going to be lying down, which is quite nice, but it's also quite strong on the core. So extend the leg, push the heel away. The strap needs to be around the sole of the foot. Shoulders are firmly on the mat. As you push the heel away, straightening the leg. Squeeze the kneecap in, tighten the front of the thigh. And then put both straps in your left hand, the same leg you've got raised, opposite hand to opposite hip. And I want you to slowly lower the leg, but keep your core engaged, because your core is going to support the leg as well as the strap. And stop the minute the opposite hip or shoulder starts to lift. Reset, push the heel away. Not going very deep in this. It's more about controlling it with the core. So engage your bandha, pull that belly button up and in, bringing that leg back up. Straighten the opposite leg. Take the straps in the opposite hand. And you're not taking the leg very far. I want you to just bring it over until you feel that stretch down the outer thigh. So stop the minute you feel that engagement. For some people, it means going quite deep. For me, I don't have to go very far, and I already feel that tightening here. Push the heel away. Pull the toes towards you. It's not a comfortable stretch, but it's really good to do this from time to time. And then bring the foot back to center. Holding the strap, pull the knee into the chest, tightly, tightly, tightly. Pull that knee in and then extend it long once more. Pull the knee in using the strap, squeezing it in, and extend once more. Last time. Pull it in, tight, 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 and then extending long. By now, your foot might be directly over your face. And then release the strap, release the foot. Take a quick breather before we come to the other side. So bring the right knee into the chest, give it a squeeze. First of all, hands behind the thigh, drawing it up, pushing the foot away. Feel that lovely hamstring stretch. And then just pop the strap around the foot. Make sure your shoulders are on the mat. Push the heel away, straighten the leg, squeeze the kneecap, squeeze the front of the thigh. And then maybe just gently pulling on the straps, bringing the foot higher over your face, but keeping the leg extended. Straps in the same, in hands on the same side as the leg that's lifted. Opposite hand to opposite hip, and just slowly start to lower that leg, pushing the heel away. The minute the hip comes up, push the hip down and stay there. Push that heel away. You should feel the stretch on the inner thigh, back of the calf, hamstrings, nice. And then slowly coming back up, straighten opposite leg, swap the strap. And again, you're keeping the foot quite high, kind of up over your face, and only bringing it a small way. Keep the leg extended until you'll feel it. It's like a slightly painful stretch down the outer thigh. Push the heel away, breathing here, pausing here. And release back to center, taking a strap in each hand. Draw the knee tightly to the chest and then extend it long, straightening the leg. Inhale, pull the knee in. Exhale, release. Inhale to chest. Exhale, release. And then bring the strap to one side. Bring both knees in, wrap your arms around them. Little rock from side to side, massaging that hard-working lower back. And next, we're going to come to our leg raises. So do protect your lower back, particularly with our double leg, but starting off with knees bent, arms just resting by your side. Lifting your right leg up, it doesn't matter which leg. Lift the foot up, have the foot pointing straight up to the ceiling. Straighten that leg as much as you can. Now draw your Mula Bandha in underneath you, pelvic floor muscles engaged. Engage Uddiyana Bandha. Pull that belly button in and down towards the spine. Turn your arms so the palms are up because you don't want to use your arms here. You're going to use your core. Flex the foot even more. Pull those toes down, push the heel away. Start to lower for 1, 2, 3. Keep that core fired up for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to hover. Push the heel away, pull the toes in, squeeze the kneecap, and then we're going to lift up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Pull the belly in. 3, 2, 1. Don't let the lower back lift. Bringing that foot to the mat. Inhale, opposite leg up. Reset. Pull the toes down, heel away. Straight leg, belly button pushing your spine down to the mat as we lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hover. Push the heel away. Reset your bandha. Keep that core really strong as we lift up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring both feet up. Rock your bottom from one side to the other. Bring your hands underneath your bottom, palms facing down. Elbows can come out wider. Reset those legs, pull the toes down, heels pushing away, kneecaps engaged. Fire up that core as we lower for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hover, pull belly up and in as we lift for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stay here. Start to bring the legs out to a straddle for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Flip the feet so the toes are down and the heels are up. Leading with the heels, lifting together for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap the feet together. Heels are apart, big toes are touching as you start to lower for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate the feet so the toes are down. Lead up with the heels for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Feet together. Flip the heels out, leading down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate the feet. Lead up with the heels for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring your hands out from under your bottom. Wrap your arms behind your knees. Hold the opposite elbows and just let your feet flop down. Take a little rock from side to side. Keep squeezing the thighs in. Maybe turning your head as well if that feels nice. And then coming to a still back. Slide your hands down to the outer edges of your feet. Bring the knees down to the armpits. Push the heels away. Happy baby. Rocking here. And then slide your hands round to your big toes. Take hold of the big toes with middle finger, index finger and thumb. Extend one leg. Point one heel away. Bring the leg as low as is comfortable for you. Draw belly button up and in to bring that knee back in. Extending the other leg. Push the heel away. Engage the core to bring the foot back in. And you can stay with working from one side to the other side, one leg at a time. Or if you want to, you can come to a full wide-legged straddle and just pause here and let gravity do its thing as your shoulders come down, the weight of your arms pulling your toes down. Keep pushing the hips, the heels away. Breathing here. And if you're in a straddle, bend the knees, bring the knees back to the armpits for your happy baby, and release the toes, catching behind the thighs, and rock and rolling up and down your spine. Crossing over at the ankles, coming up, and coming to a forward fold. So rolling straight over, and just bend the knees softly, rest your belly and chest on your thighs. Bend the knees a little bit more. And just give your head a little nod, a little shake. And then coming to your feet, take a look at your feet. Lift all of your toes up. Separate them, stretch them out, and place them down on the mat. Tuck your chin to your chest. Pushing into your feet, slowly starting to lengthen. Super slowly starting to unroll. Keep pulling belly up and in as your legs straighten, chin is still to chest. Once your spine starts to straighten, lifting your head, lifting your arms out to the side, lifting them up, looking up to your fingers as they meet. And as you draw your hands down to your heart center, pull belly button up and in. Nice. So draw the shoulders down and away from your ears. Squeeze your kneecaps. Pull that core up and in. Draw the thumbs down between your breastbones. Keep pushing down into your feet. Lengthen the spine. Lengthen the neck. Shoulders down. Keeping that belly engaged. Hips stay forward. Just start to slowly turn. One way from the waist. Head keeps traveling, looking behind you. And release to center. Keep that belly button pulling up and in. Hips stay forward. As you twist the other way, head keeps going. And release. Bring your arms down to the side. Roll the shoulders forward and up. Back and down. Inhaling forward and up. Exhaling back and down. Inhale forwards and up. And exhale back and down. And then just give them a couple of shrugs. Beautiful. So reset through the feet. Feet are inner edges are parallel. Fully grounded. Push into the feet. Squeeze around your ankles, shins, calves, kneecaps drawing up. Draw the flesh of your thighs up. Draw the belly up. Lengthening in the spine. Shoulders are pulling down as arms reach out wide. Spread your fingers really wide. Reach your arms wide. Pull that belly button up and in. Keep the hips forward as you slowly start to turn one way. Reaching the arms, twisting from the waist, looking behind you. And releasing back forwards. Slowly turning the other way. Keep the hips forwards. And releasing back. Keep the shoulders down, turn the palms up. Keep pulling that belly button up and in as the arms slowly lift. Shoulders are pulling down, belly button is pulling up as hands meet. Interlace fingers, biceps by the ears as you lengthen. Now pull those shoulders down. Draw that belly button up and in as we slowly fold one way. And inhaling back up. Exhaling the other way. Inhaling back up. Left hand takes the right wrist. Pull that right arm up and over as you fold. Inhaling to center, right hand to left wrist. Lengthen and fold. And inhaling back up. Release the arms, stretching the arms long as hands come behind you. Interlace fingers, squeeze shoulder blades together. A little back bend as you look up to the ceiling. Now keep that belly button pulling up and in. Soften the knees as you start to come forwards. Bending forwards, coming to a fold, arms coming up overhead, nose coming down towards the knees. Straighten the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Push into the feet to slowly start to come back up. Keep the knees a little bit bent. Chin stays tucked to chest until you're upright. Release those arms. Slowly bringing them out. Pull belly button up and in as the arms come up. Pull the shoulders down as the hands come to meet. And slowly bring hands to heart center, pulling the belly button up and in. Keep the hands at heart center. Slowly, slowly twisting one way. Hips staying forward. Back to center. Hips stay forward. Twist from the waist the other direction. And back to center. Bringing arms wide. Palms are down. Reset that belly. I want to see that lift here as you slowly twist one way with extended arms. Back to center. Hips are not moving. Twisting from the waist, shoulders are down. And back to center. Release the arms behind you. Interlace fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you look up. Keep pulling belly button up and in as you soften in the knees. And then start to hinge forwards. Bringing your belly and chest to your thighs. Arms coming up and over as your nose heads towards your knees. Pausing here. Breathing here. Then release your hands, bring them to the mat in front of you. Bring your hands directly in front of your feet. Keep pushing into your hands flat on the mat. See if you can straighten your legs a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Try keeping your nose close to your knees as you come to a deep forward fold. Beautiful. And then bring your left hand in the middle of your feet, in front of you, under your face. Bend the left knee. Right arm's going to lift up to a twist. Right leg extended, straightened as you reach up, looking up. Breathing here for 5, for 4. Reach the arm higher for 3, for 2, for 1. Bend right knee as right hand comes down, back to resting belly and chest on your thighs. Right hand under your face. Keep the right knee bent. Extend the left leg straight as left arm reaches out, reaches up, turning to look up. Breathing here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Soften the knees as the arm comes down. Tuck chin to chest. Push into the feet as we slowly roll up. Arms hang heavy. Chins to the chest as the legs straighten. As your spine straightens, lifting the head. Arms reaching out, pull the belly up and in. As the arms lift, looking up and drawing hands slowly down to heart center. Really nice. Coming to the top of your mat, we're going to do a couple of rounds of sun salutations with a focus on the core. So the whole time, I want you to think about our little pelvic tilt. So from your lower back, drawing down underneath you, drawing your pelvis. So it's like a little pelvic tilt. Protect your lower back, that belly button drawing up and sucking in. So coming to standing at the front of your mat, big toes touching, heels apart. Arms down by your side, palms face forward. Reach the arms long, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Pull that belly button up and in. Slowly start to extend the arms out. Keep them really long, spread the fingers, looking up as the hands meet above you. Turning the palms outwards, pull belly up and in, slight soften in the knees as you slowly swan dive, hands either side of your feet, nose to knees. Inhale, halfway lift up on your fingertips, straight legs. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back, the left foot back to your plank. Walk the toes in, push the heels away. Lower the knees, shift shoulders forward slightly. Hug your rib cage with your elbows as you slowly lower chest and chin to the mat. Inhaling, sliding to your baby cobra, point your toes away from you. Pushing to your knees, tuck your toes. We're in our first down dog. And here you can pedal the legs one at a time, pushing the heel to the mat and bending the opposite knee. Walking out your dog. And then coming to your still dog. Look at your hands. Are they shoulder width? Push into the hands, chest to thighs. Lower the heels. Lift that right leg up behind you, three-legged dog. Now, your right hip is probably lifting up a bit high. So pull the right hip down and pull the left hip back. Pull belly button up and in. Lift your head, looking forward. Step or move the foot between your hands. And then let the left foot join it in your forward fold at the top of your mat. And then reverse your swan dive, pulling belly button up and in as the arms lift. And hands come to heart center. Inhale, sweeping the arms out for a little back bend. Exhale, swan dive to your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Step the left foot back, the right foot back to your plank. Lower the knees. Shift weight over the wrists. Hug the rib cage with your elbows as you lower chest and chin. Baby cobra, point the toes away, pushing to your knees. And keep your hands where they are. Drop your hips to your heels, lower your forehead. Extended child pose. Relax the tops of the shoulders, but keep the elbows lifted. Breathing here. And then lifting your head, looking forward, spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes, and we're back in our downward facing dog. Weights on the right foot, left leg lifts up high, three-legged dog. And again here, pull the right hip back, the left hip down a little bit. Looking forward, sweep that foot between your hands or use your hand to move it. If it doesn't make it on its own, then the right foot joins, big toes together, heels apart in your fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Pull that belly button up and in as the arms lift. And hands come to heart center. Inhale, arms out wide for your back bend. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. If you're jumping back, bring your hands a little bit in front of your feet. Bend your knees. Either step or jump back to your plank. Pausing here in plank. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Now, bend the knees. Push your belly back towards your thighs. We're going to jump forward into a Hindi squat. So just believe you can do this, okay? Bending the knees, looking forward, just jump forward, feet by your hands, bringing your bottom down, taking your Hindi squat pose. Nice. So push the palms together, bring the knees wide. I'm going to turn around so I can see you, lovely, lovely peeps. So knees are nice and wide, hands coming down, thumbs by our heart center. Pausing here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. And then bringing your hands behind you as brakes. Bring yourself down and bring yourself long legs in front of you. You can shift the flesh from your sits bones. Wipe the sweat from your brow if, like me, you're breaking a sweat. I can see Anne is definitely. And just give your legs a little bash on the floor, just relieving any tension. Nice. Now, hug your left foot in as close to your bottom as you can get it. So really pull it in, holding it in. Now, make sure you've got roughly a fist width between your foot and the opposite inner thigh. We're coming into a pose which I can't remember the name of. Janu Sirsasana, one of the others, but I can never remember which one it is. Hold on to the shin with the opposite hand, with your right hand. Bring your left arm inside that knee. And then pulling the shin back, start to lean forward. See if you can get the back of your shoulder roughly to the front of the knee. Then turn the palm upside down so the thumb is down. Bend that arm around behind you. Right arm comes out wide behind you, and maybe you find your fingers. Maybe not yet, but you can hold on to your t-shirt or use your strap, or just come as far into this as you can. Once you're as far as you can, flex the foot and drop chin to chest. Maybe leaning forward a little bit, breathing here. And then releasing the bind, bringing yourself upright. Catch the foot with your left hand. Put the foot into your right elbow crease. And your left elbow crease goes around the knee. You can interlace fingers. And we're kind of rocking that baby here. Just gently rocking. We're not going to come to elephant pose today because I don't think my shoulder would cope with it today. So you're all off the hook. So just having that lovely stretch. This should feel nice on the hip and the back of the thigh. And then gently release and bring that leg long. Give your legs one more little bash. And then right leg comes in. And you really need to pull it in towards the butt cheek as far as it will go. Nice. Then hold on to it with the left hand and bring the right shoulder inside the knee. Start to lean forward. So you're pulling the knee back and you're reaching forwards. Now flip the palm so the thumb is down. Start to bring the arm out, bending at the elbow. Bring the back of your hand to the back of that thigh is kind of the first stage. Opposite arm reaches out behind you, maybe finding your fingers. Maybe not yet, but one day for sure. And then either sort of leaning forwards a little bit, but definitely chin to chest. Breathing here. And then lifting the head, releasing the arms, bringing them forward, catch the soles of the feet together. Bring your fingers underneath and just give your butterfly wings a little flap, a little stretch. Nice. Really, really nice. And then releasing them, coming about halfway down your mat. We're going to come to boat pose, Navasana. So hands behind the thighs. Shoulders come up, back and down. Try and get your spine as straight as you can. Fire up that core and start to lift your feet. Point the toes away from you. You can keep hold behind the thighs, just finding your balance here. You can release one arm and bringing it back. Other arm and bringing it back. Or releasing both arms in full pose, but keep putting the knees in. Fire up your core. I'm going to stay here for 5 more, for 4 more, for 3 more, for 2 more, for 1 more. Catch behind the thighs and slowly start to roll your spine down. Bring those knees into the chest. Give them a squeeze. A little rock from side to side. And then bring your feet to the mat for our final pose. T-shape your arms. Hook the right thigh over the left. Draw both legs to the right. Stretching out the left side. Relax your belly. Let that whole network, your core, your muscles of your waist release down. Relax. Relax the shoulders. And then bring the knees to center, uncross, left thigh over right. And let both legs come to the left, stretching out the right side. Inhaling back up to center, uncross the legs. Keep the knees bent if you've got lower back issues or your lower back's just feeling a bit tender. Arms to the side or legs extended long. Your choice, your Shavasana. Lengthen the back of the neck, adjusting your hips and shoulders. Gently tuck the chin and just breathe. Deep, slow, even breaths. Relax your feet, your legs, your hips, your back, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your face. Relax. Gently start to move your head from one shoulder and the other way, chin to shoulder. Stretch your fingers, stretch your toes, your feet, your hands. Slide the legs together, inhaling the arms up and lowering them behind you. Take a full body stretch. Point your toes, flex your feet. Point, flex, point, flex. Reach the arms long and then slowly bring one knee in, hug it into the chest. The other knee coming in, squeeze them in as you take a last rock from side to side. And then rolling over to one side, using your hands, bringing yourselves up to your comfortable cross-legged seat pose. Bringing hands to heart center, to the third eye, and namaste, my lovelies. Thank you for joining me on this